everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, fellow masters and your guests. Welcome to Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers Toastmasters Club. Let me introduce Toastmasters. First, Toastmasters International was established in California in 1924 by Rob Smedley. And today, Toastmasters International has evolved to be a worldwide nonprofit organization. And in here, we can learn and grow to be a good communication in public speaking and leadership. And the second, Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers was established in Oregon in 1925, and we are a hybrid club. Our members are from all over the world. We meet every Monday at 7 a.m. Oregon time. And the last one, for you guys, please unmute yourself during the meeting, and for role takers, please identify your role in front of your name. Let's begin the meeting. And I'm going to give handle the meeting to someone with a warm and welcoming personality. Yeah, she is our president. Please welcome Ms. Ayu Anantya.
Thank you, Melva. Such a thorough explanation for our rule, introduction of Toastmaster, introduction of our club, and a little bit of meeting online rule. And I would like to say welcome everybody again, special to Jay Prakash. Hi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, Toastmaster. So this is Toastmaster Jai Prakash, and I'm from TCS Maitri Toastmasters Club, Pune. We are a club from India, the western part of India, basically. I got to know about this meeting from Toastmaster Yasmin. Actually, we were looking for a speech slot for Toastmaster Preeti, and it was kind of Toastmaster Yasmin that she invited us for this meeting. So thank you for inviting us, and yeah, I'm here to support Toastmaster Preeti. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Well, a big hug, virtual hug to you, Jay. It's such an honor to have you around us, and I hope you will enjoy our meeting. So, fellow Toastmaster, let's just get started. And our Toastmaster of today's meeting is our Vice President of Education. Let's give a round of applause and welcome Yasmin Talwala.
Thank you everyone. Yet again, a warm welcome. And what exciting it could be, more exciting could it be than being the Toastmaster of the day of our club's meeting, which happens to fall on 14th of February 2022. Yes, you all guessed it right. Yes. Today is the special day, the Valentine Day, right? And happy Valentine to you all. Here we are all together because we are compassionate, love, and we adore the company of Toastmasters and of our club members, each other. So a virtual hug to all of you, all the members, all the guests, because we share the same passion. Now, when you think of Valentine Day, what is it that you think instantly beside your Valentine? The gifts that you're going to get, isn't it? I see big smiles. And when you think of the gifts, I know what ladies usually think about. If that's what you men are thinking, let me tell you, there's only one person here who is very fast changing his screen to let us know that yes, it's basically flour and chocolates that serves the best gifts for this special day to express our feelings. And therefore, we will have the meeting theme today as chocolates and flowers. So as we move ahead and as we feel the flavor of yummy chocolate in our mouth. Yes, you can imagine of the best chocolate you like. Could be a Swiss chocolate, could be a candy from your nearest bakery, you know best, or maybe the candy or the chocolate you had from received from your Valentine, the most memorable one. Aha, just taste of it and just smell of the flower, the smell that comes, that triggers in your mind, which you have had, which brings in the flowery memory from one or maybe this one's best Valentine you ever had. And if not, it's just started. Keep a chocolate and a flower ready, and you never know. So, with this, let's get started for our meeting today. We will be having the regular Toastmaster meeting today, which is unlike the last week, which was the contest, and which will not be the same for the next week because again, we are going to have the evaluation contest. But this week is the regular Toastmaster meeting. And as always, I have a team of chocolates and flowers with me to help run this day. And to begin with, I would like to invite the role players who will be playing a very important role in their capacities to make this meeting a success. I would like to invite, first of all, the timer, Melwa, to please come and present her role. Melwa is one of the most valuable Toastmaster of our club. She has shown to us what it means to get out of your comfort zone and to achieve what you dream. So with these kind words, I would like to really invite Melwa to come with her chocolatey smile and share with us what her role is going to be about as timer. Melwa.
Thanks a lot, Jasmine, for give me a time to introduce my role. Hi everyone, good morning and good evening. I'm your timer now, and my role is to take a note the time of your speech. And today I have 3 signs: green for safe, yellow and yeah, still safe, and red for you need to stop your speech, and I'll give you 30 seconds to wrap your speech. And as we know, we have 3 parts, that is prepare speech. For speakers, you have to speak 5 to 7 minutes. And for table topic session, you have to speak 1 to 2 minutes. And for evaluators, you have to speak 2 to 30 minutes. And I think that's it. Back to you, Yasmin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Melwa. And to move on, we'll have to invite the next flower from our Roseburg club, that is the grammarian and our very immediate past president, Tiger, who is going to come and present his role as a grammarian and give us the word of the day. So Tiger, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Miss Toastmaster of the Day. The word for today is adore. If you look in the chat, very simply, adore means to love and deeply respect. As in the sentence, I adore our Vice President of Education. And why? Look at that smile. How can you not adore that smile? Hi, Shopa. Welcome. I adore RSS. I will be looking for excellent examples of the English language, and also if there is a gross misuse of the language, I will point it out. I don't expect to have very many of those, so have fun and let's have a great Valentine's Day. Back to you, Miss Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Tiger. I know Tiger would not adore the misuse of the English words today. So let's keep that in mind while we go ahead. And here I'm going to invite the next role player, which is the R counter, Ayu, who brings in the flowers and chocolates together through her presence in our meetings. So Ayu, please come in and explain your role as our counter.
Thank you, Yasmin. I truly adore this role of counter. How come? Well, since I have this role since the first time, this role has really helped me with my communication skill. Every time I speak now, I always pinch myself if I say some filler words. So the counter role plays a vital role in helping members improve their communication skills. That's the one point. It's common to receive feedback on aspects like language, content, and delivery. However, filler words are something that the speaker uses involuntarily and most people overlook, even though it reduces the effectiveness of the speech. Therefore, the counter plays a crucial role by throwing lights on the same. My duty today, just take notes of everyone that say, whoever say and then report at the end of the meeting when our general evaluator called upon me. Good luck. I hope I will not mention anyone. Back to you, Yasmin.
Thank you very much, Ayu. We will take care that you do not have to mention us. And now moving further, I would like to let you all know and introduce to you our general evaluator of the day, which is Alice. Alice, we know that she is blessed with a very flowery and chocolatey voice, and she always make a pleasant, with her presence, we feel so, the meetings are always so fragrant. So with this, I would like to invite Alice to just come and present her role as the general evaluator. You're muted. Alice, you're muted. Could you please unmute yourself?
Love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart and please don't break it. Love was made for me and you. Nat King Cole, who sang this song, had said, I may be helping to bring harmony between people through my music. And feedback in our communication brings harmony in our essence and in our relationships with people around us. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alice. What can I say after Alice has spoken? So let me be quiet and just move on to the next section of the meeting. So moving further, we're going to have the regular first section, which is the section of prepared speeches. We have two speakers with us today who will be evaluated by very efficient two evaluators. To begin with, I would like to introduce our first speaker, which is Kevin. But before I get into the details of the speech of Kevin, let me introduce to you this first evaluator, which is Ishel. Ishel is gonna be evaluating the speech of Kevin, and Kevin is delivering the speech from the Leadership Development Pathway, Level 2, Project 1, which is about understanding your leadership style. The title of Kevin's speech is Success in Business Without a Promotion. Success in Business Without a Promotion is the title. And with us, let's join hands to invite Kevin to present his speech. Kevin, the floor is all yours.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Have you ever been in a job for about 20 plus years and you've never really moved up? Even though you've proved yourself worthy for a promotion, you've proved yourself worthy as a leader, You've even been sent to handle situations that we require a leader to handle. And you've done a good job with a good outcome. However, your superiors tell you that you're still not exactly material for the position of a supervisor. It's really hard to accept. See, my situation in my job is I've been at the casino as a security officer and an EMT for 20 plus years now, and I've never really ever moved up. I've made several attempts to interview for a promotion whenever one would arise, whenever there was an opening, and I felt that I did a bang up job on the interview. However, the promotion would always go to someone else, someone more qualified or someone with the it factors, which I supposedly don't have. And sometimes it would be frustrating. Now, any normal person would either quit by being bitter and just quit and move on to something else, or they'd stay there and remain bitter and angry and just keep it to themselves, or they could stay there and take all this information with a positive attitude and just continue to try to be an asset to the department. That's the way I feel. I feel like I should just stay there and keep on doing the best I can and just be successful in my own right. Today, I would like to use an analogy to kind of illustrate my point. Now let's kind of just bear with me, and I want to talk about a television show that I grew up on a long time ago to illustrate my point. This television show was called Chips. It was a police show back in the late 70s, early 80s that I grew up on, and I really loved the show. It was a family friendly show. There wasn't a whole lot of violence. There was a lot of action scenes, but it was about the California Highway Patrol. And it starred two officers, Eric Estrada and Larry Wilcox. And their characters were police officers who patrolled the city of Los Angeles on motorbikes. But I don't want to talk about those two guys. I want to talk about a police officer, a character actor in the TV show who wasn't the star of the show, but he made a name for himself on that series. His name was Bear. They called him Bear, and I'm going to show you a picture of him. Hold on. Let me see here. Let's see here.
Kevin, we don't hear you. Kevin, you are muted.
Kevin, you are still muted and now your video is off. But congratulations, you managed to do the screen share. Kevin?
Okay, let's give 1 minute. I think he is trying to sort out his problem. The world of technologies, right?
Yeah, he's been doing this for quite some time, try to overcome this technology. So hope for the best. I just asked him to unmute himself, this microphone. Still no answer. Kevin. We will come back to you again later on.
I
Yeah.
see he's dropped out, so what we can do is just maybe move ahead with the second speaker, and we see if things go well. We will get the first speaker back again. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. Let's embrace the world of technologies, which give all the, slightly nitty-gritties here and there, but at the same time, which brings us friends from different parts of the world. And yes, what can be better testimonial to this than to invite our second speaker, who is basically visiting us for the first time, and she's already here with her speech. She is Preeti Narayan, who is living in Pune. She lives with her lovely family, which has her husband and a young daughter. She is professionally a pre-sales solution consultant at TCS and is member of Toastmaster from TCP Corporate Club. Yeah, this does not completely define her. I cannot go without mentioning that she is a marathoner and a yoga practitioner for several years, and she loves motivating others for fitness. So be prepared for fitness, yeah? Well, she will be delivering her speech from the Engaging Humor Pathways. This is her level 3, project 2, which is about using descriptive language. Her speech will be evaluated by our esteemed Toastmaster Shilpa. And with this, I would like to invite Preeti on stage. Preeti, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Yasmin, and thank you everyone for having me here. Presiding officer, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, whichever part of the world you're from, a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to each one of you. Since my childhood, I adored the art of building construction. Even though I never understood the science behind it, I really was fascinated by it. I was in awe to see how a place which just hosted, a joint family in a villa suddenly could host 20 families because it was suddenly a 5-storied apartment complex. Drawing an analogy from there, I relate the process of construction to the process of crafting our destiny. You know how? Foundation stone. Isn't that the first thing that goes into construction? And then on top of your foundation, you have the rods that go up to create the frame. And then you have the brick and the mortar to give you the structure for the frame. And then to bring all of this together as a single entity, you have the roof. And making this entirely as one building. Now, my analogy to the destiny part is when you talk about foundation, I talk about thought. Now, on top of thought, the rods are basically the action plan. The action plan that drives towards the brick and mortar giving the structure is basically your character, and the roof is bringing that character together to finally draft it as your destiny. How many of you have heard about Nathan? Anybody? Nathan Sharansky from Russia? I see no hands. Okay, so let me tell you, he's an Israeli politician. In the 1970s, he was put in prison during communist Russia days. And that was because he was accused for being an American spy and whatnot. Now, in his 12 years of jail, every day, he mentally visualized playing chess with the then world champion Garry Kasparov. And each time, every day when he visualized this, he defeated Garry in his mind. Several years later, when Nathan was out of jail, Garry Kasparov came to Israel and he was playing a demonstration match with 5 players. And at the same time, when he was playing with 5 players, he defeated 4 players. There was this one player he did not defeat. He, in fact, got defeated by him. And this guy was none other than Nathan. When asked about it, Nathan said, when I kept defeating Gary in my mind for each day of the 12 years in prison, defeating him in real was just like the most natural thing to me. So we, my friends, are a byproduct of our thought. Won't you all agree? But is there a way we can control our thoughts? I think there is. Let me share some from my experience. I'm part of a runners group, and we're a volunteer-driven group. Very fitness enthusiasts. We motivate each other, encourage each other. And at the beginning of each year, we have a goal setting session. We come together, we visualize our goals, we write them down, discuss with each other, assign mentors, and create and come up with an action plan. So what I want to highlight here is to cradle the right kind of thoughts, there is a certain set of factors that we need to come up with. And one of the biggest factor is the company that we keep. In my context, I'm in the company of fitness enthusiasts. So the only thing that I like to think about is how can I get better? How can I endure like a horse? How can I get strong as a bull? And how can I be skillfully agile as a deer? So now at the beginning of the year, my thought is I want to be a strong swimmer. I want to participate in a triathlon. My action is to find a coach, maybe join some classes, and I want to get into a habit of going for regular swimming practice. I want to slowly lose the fear of the deep waters and finally become a confident swimmer who is strong enough to achieve my destiny of entering into a triathlon. If I didn't get this thought, my friends, would any of this have been possible? So good thoughts today and act on them. When a habit of it gets formed, that will automatically plod your path towards your destiny. So friends, that's why I say you are what you think you are. What do you think, Toastmaster of the day?
Preeti, I think you are going to be an Iron Lady winning the Iron Man.
Thank you.
Yes, so deep message, Preeti. We really and we truly believe that we are what we think. And thank you for bringing this up, this reminder up to us in such an effective way. Okay, in the world of technologies, we know we are all here to embrace it in all ways, right? With its good and its bad. So now, having had Preeti, let me invite the first speaker again who has managed to join us, Kevin. We will be continuing your speech. Would you like to start from the beginning or would you like to just continue from where you dropped?
I'd go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and continue where I dropped, if that's
Okay.
okay. If it's okay with the timer.
Okay, super. So timer, please note that he's just going to be continuing from where he dropped. And please, likewise, evaluator, please note he's just continuing from where he last dropped. So the floor is all yours, Kevin.
I apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead and avoid using the imagery for sharing us. So I was talking about how we that are in jobs for many, many years in the same job, some of us just don't move up and some of us consider it very frustrating, especially when we feel we have something to offer to make us promotable. In my case, it just doesn't seem to work. I'm a top officer. I'm an asset. I contribute a lot. However, I just can't seem to get to that next level. And it's been kind of frustrating, but I've learned how to live with it. So today I want to kind of illustrate my point by using the TV show. I was talking about Chips. It was a Chips. If you wanted to Google it, for those who don't know, it came out in 1977, I believe, 78, and it lasted about 6 seasons. It was a police drama, kind of a drama and a comedy. It was about the California Highway Patrol, and it starred Eric Estrada and Larry Wilcox as the two highway patrol officers that rode the motorbikes and issued out tickets and responded to motor vehicle accidents. The interesting part about the show was, considering that it was a family-friendly show, there was very, very little violence in that show, very minimal violence. And the one thing that never happened is you never saw, like you would see in other police shows, you'd never see any pistols drawn. There wouldn't be any gunfights or any of that sort of thing. So you never would see a police officer pulling a pistol, except one time. There is this one particular officer who was not the star of the show. He was just a regular officer. He didn't drive the motorcycle. He drove the patrol car. He responded to a scene where there was a couple of bad guys stripping a vehicle, and he radioed in that he was going to make contact. And after he radioed in and made contact, he attempted to arrest one of the bad guys. Well, the bad guy resisted with some nunchucks and started to fight the officer. Well, the officer went down, but he wasn't out of the fight. He pulled his gun and drew it, telling the bad guy that he meant business. The bad guy surrendered and left the scene. The point of that scene is that one officer drew his gun. He drew his gun and he made a name for himself. He had that 2 or 3 minutes of fame in that TV show. And he was recognized as one of the only officers that drew a gun on that TV show. Now, he was just a character actor, and maybe nobody remembers his character name or his actual name, but he did contribute. He made a name for himself, and he was an asset to that television show. And that show was a really wonderful show that's still in syndication. It's on DVD. It's on Prime Video. It's a good show today. And you can probably see that episode. It's called Karate. It was in the 4th season. So going back to my point, you don't necessarily have to be a supervisor or a lead to be successful in your job. You can still be an asset and contribute by being a veteran officer, a seasoned veteran officer that has a lot to give. So you should never allow yourself to have a low self-esteem just because you've never been promoted. And as far as I'm concerned, yes, I've been at the Seven Feathers for 20 plus years. I've never been promoted. I'm an EMT and I still have a good time. I go to work, I have a wonderful time. I interact with the supervisors. I work with them very well. And if I never get promoted, that's fine. I'm still going to keep on working and still earning a living and building my 401k, and I'm not going to let it get to me. Some people don't have that same kind of attitude. I'm telling you, it's okay. It's okay to swallow your pride and still try to just, make a name for yourself. And someday people are going to start recognizing your good attitude and your success and what you contributed to the department. I don't plan to ever get a promotion, and I'm okay with that. I've learned to live with it. It's just one of those things. Some of us just have to live with it. But I'm still going to keep on working. I'm still going to keep myself productive and useful. And I'm never going to give up. I'm always going to keep on striving on Toastmasters to develop our leadership skills and public speaking skills. And I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop. I'm always going to have a positive attitude. That's the way we all need to feel. So with that said, I return it back to the Toastmaster today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. We very much feel the positive attitude, and we very much appreciate the speech, which inspire us in a way to rethink that no, promotion is not only the measurement of what you are. So thank you for that very important reminder, Kevin, and sharing that speech with us. Okay, moving on to our second section, which is going to be about the impromptu speeches, where we are going to have, a lot of fun, a lot of creativity. We can explain, explore, innovate. So that's the time. But before we move, let me use this chance to share the story of the Valentine. Many of you might already know, right? Valentine's Day is much more than gifts. It's much more than just flowers and chocolates, right? So how it all started. So the story is about Saint Valentine, who was during the Roman Emperor Claudius II. And they were fighting for many years. This Roman emperor was fighting for so many years. And he thought that the men, he wanted really strong army, but many men did not want to be soldiers, unlike Kevin. So Claudius thought that men wanted to stay home to be with their wives and children instead of leaving for fighting war. So Claudius thought of an awful solution to his problem. He decided to cancel all marriages. No one in no one in Rome could get married. Claudius thought that if men could not get married, then men would ignore women and would want to be soldiers. Valentine, who was a priest then, believed that people needed to get married. And he thought that if they were not married, they would be tempted to sin by living together without being married. He was a Catholic, right? He was a Catholic priest. So he performed the weddings in secret places so the Roman soldiers would not find out. But alas, Claudius found it out, and therefore he was killed, in a way, martyred. So we remember he was sent to prison until he could be executed. So while he was in prison, he sent out letters to his friends and asked to be prayed for by writing, "Remember your Valentine." Of course, Valentine was killed on 14th of February in some years 269 or 217, and we celebrate Valentine's Day in order to honor Saint Valentine. So remember to write, "Remember your Valentine." The story was a motivation for us to be creative and just share as many more stories as we can. And here to run this section, I have to invite Kunang, who is joining us all together from another part of Asia, Cambodia. And Kunang has a little bit of technological issues. I think she is struggling with sound, but still she has taken the challenge to run this session. So without wasting further time, please join our hands to invite Kunang to take us through the table topic session. Kunang, the floor is yours.
Hello everybody, it's annoying here. Now it's my time. Table topic masters. I share my screen and then you can read the question by yourself. The first question is go to Michelle. Michelle, could you please read the question by yourself and then you answer? Okay.
Thank you very much. What kind of flowers do you like? Why? That is a difficult question for me to answer because I adore flowers. I just love flowers. In fact, I was looking around my little cottage to see, but some of them have been taken out. Flowers just make me feel like the day is more beautiful. And I adore touching the petals of flowers. And in fact, I also save the petals once they're all dry and they fall off the flower. I save them, especially those that have a scent, like roses. I almost wanted to say that roses are my favorite flowers, but then I also adore orchids. And we have a flower in the Philippines. In fact, it's almost our national flower called the sampaguita. It's very tiny and white with fragile petals. so fragile. You have to hold them carefully, otherwise they would get a little bit the must up. But in the Philippines, we have flower lace or wreaths made of sampaguitas. And they're adorable. You wear them and you walk around, even in the hot sun. The fragrance is just so, it's almost like a magical scent. Like you can imagine fairies coming out. So as far as I'm concerned, Kunang, I cannot give you one single flower because I adore all flowers. I adore roses, I adore orchids, sampaguitas, ilang-ilang, and so many others, but usually the flowers that have a scent. Back to you.
Thank you, Michelle. Now the second question is go to our guest. Okay. Quit. Is that your name? AAQUIB. You can read
Yes,
the
I
question
quit.
and answer by yourself.
What do you think? Thanks, Toastmaster Kunang, for giving me this opportunity. What do you think if a garden doesn't have any flowers, and what will you do to make a garden get beautiful flowers? Gardens are meant to have flowers, and if there is no garden, it's just a field. So first of all, calling them garden doesn't make any sense. Second is, what will I do? I'll put all my efforts to make sure that it is called garden. And when we all say garden, it means lot of flowers. And it's not just one kind of flower, then it becomes forest. You have to have different variety of flowers. Flowers that bring lot of insects, small insects. Then you get butterflies and all the greeneries all around. Then this is what make very happening environment. So I can recall one of my memory when I visited Bangalore a month back, and we have a very beautiful garden there. It's full of flowers and lot of bonsai plants, lot of different kind of plants, full of greenery, and it felt like an entire world to me. You don't need to have people all around you. If you have lot of flowers and trees, you feel, I mean, complete. So when you can visit any, I mean, garden, I would urge everyone to visit a garden, be in that surrounding for some hours, and I think it would be more than doing meditation. The kind of energies and happiness, mental peace that you get. So this was, I mean, I felt very happy after visiting that garden. And if any garden is not having those flowers, I'll definitely urge everyone to bring some flowers and put it there. With this, handing over the stage back to Kunal.
Thank you. Great. So now the next question is go to Ayu. Ayu,
Yeah, yes, Kiran.
you can read the question by
Yeah,
yourself and
I will read it, but not begin to answer yet. Do you ever eat chocolate during your class? What you think if your kids was you buy them chocolate for their birthday. It's hmm. Chocolate. Wow! Thank you so much. That expression is very natural, and I heard that many times. Guess what? Not me, Kuneng. Not me, fellow Toastmaster. I don't really like chocolate. And for me, giving flowers to me, first thing in my mind, you are wasting your money. My goodness, something practical, please. Well, it's just me. I do like when someone give me a flower and I recognize the feeling, the happy feeling, but still my practical, logical mind over, like it's better not like that. Well, so Pinang, I don't really like chocolate, like the candy, but if you offer me an ice cream, I will just have it, even though a little bit. And today, after 2 months, not only coffee, and tea, today I have a chocolate milk, just once a while. If somebody asks me to buy, of course, I will buy them. Chocolate, in my mind, first thing about chocolate is when I go to climb mountains. I think Excel knows about this too. Something to be with us all the time because it gives a lot of calorie, a boost when we really need energy. So, fellow Toastmaster, chocolate is not about romantic for me. Chocolate is really about energy boosting. Back to you, Kineng. And if I meet you, if you ask me to buy you chocolate, I will buy one for you.
No, hi. That's a question. Yes. Thank you. You now oh the wedding party they have stopped the music. My question is go to Rukaya. Which flowers do you prefer to plant at your backyard?
Thank you, Kunang, but I would pass.
Kunang, I think she's not feeling well. So she has asked you to pass it to someone else. We have Pooja with us in case she wants to take it.
Yeah, I can take.
Kunang, could you please repeat?
Repeat the question.
Yes, please.
Okay. Could you please speak again?
Can you please share I can see the slide. What is it about?
Okay, here.
Which flowers do you prefer to plant at your backyard? Imagine you are in a countryside somewhere. Sorry, first I would like to thank Konang, Toastmasters Konang. Imagine you are living countryside. You have a huge, big mansion, a very big kind of a palace, which has everything within it. And your backyard is filled with all the water. With that, when you walk around in the palace and step down, you see a lot of, because it's a palace, you see a lot of warrior instruments. But then when I step back in my backyard, what makes me feel soothing are those flowers, beautiful gifts given to me by the nature. And that is nothing but lotus. In my childhood, I'm being taught lotus is one such flower which grows in the adversity, but still it is the one where the God sits. It is the flower which is offered to the God, and that is something the honor the lotus carries. Lotus is one such flower that is very closely associated with my spiritual feelings and thoughts. It's beautiful fragrance and gives a very nice ambience. It's also a source of birds, insects, butterflies, and bees. They roam around and it gives a very good. It can also be used for the decoration. It has a very good. It spreads the awesomeness, even though it is still living itself in the pond or my backyard, which is filled with the pond. I would say from this, every time when I step back in my backyard, I think and I say that wherever you are, no matter whatever you are going through, be like a lotus, give the pleasure, and be that honor to be offered to the God. And that's what over to you, Toastmaster Kudan. Sorry, I think I exceeded the time.
Good, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pia. Yes, flower is really a best friend for humanity. I think it brings us a fresh feeling and enjoyable.
Okay, I see Kunal.
Yes, Yasmin. So, yes, you cannot hear me?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I say that flower is like a best friend for people, for humanity, because it brings us fresh feeling and energies and more enjoyable when we seem like not so happy. But when we playing at the garden, we also bring happiness in our lifetime also, and especially energy. So now I give my time back to Yasmin. Thank you, Yasmin.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kunal. Thank you for giving us the question which posed us to think about it, to think as to how do we feel about flowers and chocolates. And yes, thank you everyone for being honest and sharing in case you don't share the same feelings like a you who is more logical, yeah? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move to the next session, which you all might be dearly waiting for, which is the unique part of Toastmasters, the evaluation journey, the evaluation and the feedback session. And to move ahead with this session, I would like to invite Ellis, who is our general evaluator, to please carry forward the next session. Ellis, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you, Yasmin. Now we are going to Excel, who is going to evaluate Kevin's speech. Excel, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello to everyone. I adore to be here. It's a good, nice, wonderful team, as you are each flower in this garden. Okay, I want Kevin. Kevin, I love all your speech. All your speech has always a good message. I want to say three things about it. First, your structure. I like it so much how you started with the point that in your title, it's exactly the message. So, success without promotion. So you explain also that situation, and then I like it how you you explain it in with the TV show, and also you explain what about this TV show, how is, and I like it also, and so I like it how you end it. Bring back again all this mention, close this with about you and how you put all this knowledge in your life. That structure, it's so great. Then the second, I want to emphasize more how to make that, how to make this structure, how to put in your life. And the third point is the encourage. All the time you make that encourage, how you feel, how you feel a little down when it's at the beginning. And in the second point about the show, also it was a great encourage. And at the end, to push a little more feeling about this. For the point to a recommendation, I would like to see more different is encouraged, because I felt that all the time I was in a safe line. So I would like that you could make a little bigger this feeling, because all the time was good, and okay, you close with I did this, but I would like that this encourage this feeling big a little different, so that could help that we feel that we are in a roller case. So maybe this make a great better, a little better your speech. In conclusion, the structure, how you mix all this information in your life, you encourage, and as recommendation, a little big different this encourage to make us more emotional. Thank you, Kevin. Great. Alice, back to you. Sorry.
Thank you, Xel. And now we're going to Shilpa, who is the evaluator of Preethi's speech. Hello, Shilpa.
Hi, Alice. I will start with my evaluation for Preethi. Thank you, Preethi, for your speech. I absolutely adored it. What did I adore about your speech? Now, that is what everyone wants to know. I would say there was a lot in it. Beginning with, they say content is the king, and truly, I would say the highlight of your speech today was the content. You started with a strong analogy. You backed it up with a story that we have heard about, although we could not relate with the name first, but it was a story that we could relate to. And then they came in your personal story, which gave it a strong emphasis. So I would say, thank you for bringing in such excellent content to our club meeting today. It was supported, very ably supported with your language, the usage of the words of the language was spot on, just required by the objective of your speech today. The second point that I really liked was the gestures. Your gestures. Sometimes people's gestures get hidden behind the camera. Not yours, Preeti. We could actually see. What really impressed me was the 5 people going down and only 1 remaining. That was something that probably I would myself use sometime. So very good gestures. And the third strong pillar of your speech was the audience engagement. You engaged us as various points of your speech. Throughout, you kept involving the audience with the usage of your words, bringing the questions. So that was very good. What I would have liked to see is that engagement that you had at the end of the speech. It could have been supported by the first analogy. It would have rounded up your speech. So saying that, have you made the foundation? Have you made the pillars? Have you thought about what would be the brick in the mortar and the roof? So that would have, in a way, rounded up the whole speech and added even greater impact to already a proficient speech that you had today. One more little thing that would have expected if you're trying to use the speech at a contest would be more drama. It's always good to have more drama in speeches, a high and the low notes in your voice, coming into the camera, leaning in, and then moving forward, bringing it, coming it in at different angles to the camera. So that gives that brings in more interest from the audience. So those would be my 2 little suggestions to amp up the drama, round up your speech from where you started, but keep going on with a good content that you have, the gestures and the audience engagement. I will now pass on the mic to Alice, our general evaluator.
Thank you, Shilpa. And now let's go to our role players. And first of all, let's have you as a counter.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you very much for calling upon me, and this is my report, fellow Toastmaster. I choose to listen to only the speakers. Today I listened to Preeti, and Preeti has 2 suddenly, 1 and 2 and then. Kevin has 2 I am a. I think it's just happened to you try to repeat, but I just make a note on that one. Michelle have 3 in fact, but I do like 3 times Michelle. 1 is a little bit in the beginning, in the middle, and then at the end you still have an in fact 3 times. But I applaud you on giving sense and fragrance. So there is a synonym over there. I like that playing word. And Akib has 1 time. Then playing with word on full of and lots of. Me, I think I have some too, but I don't recognize myself, mine. So if someone know this, please let me know. Pooja have several and this is my report. I'm just saying that hopefully it be helpful that we are famous with some words in this speech of us today. Maybe your speech, other speech will not have that kind of word. By that, I would like to hand over to Alice. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you. And now let's go to our grammarian, Tiger.
Thank you, Miss General Evaluator. And yes, Miss President, you had a couple mistakes, but it's Valentine's Day, so I'm not going to say anything other than that was a fantastic report. That goes for all you ladies. I am not pointing out any mistakes because it's Valentine's Day. However, Kevin, you like a thinking and a working. There's a G at the end. Use your G, sir. Working, thinking. And I recognize this because I do the same thing. I call it Oregonese, which is we are lazy because we're in Oregon and life is slow. So work on those G's. Now, it is quiz time. Part of Toastmasters is your listening skills. I am going to repeat something that got said. I want to know who said it. So unmute yourself. If you said this, then remain silent, please. So unmute yourself, everybody. Here we go. We are a byproduct of our thoughts.
Pretty.
And thank you for that.
Pretty.
Thank you for that speech. That was a wonderful speech. She is blessed with a flowery and chocolatey voice. Wow.
Yasmin.
Yes, Yasmin said that. We got to put that in a poem. I thought I did a bang up job on the interview.
Kevin.
That was Kevin. Kevin likes to use a lot of American idioms. Bang up. How many of you guys are familiar with the term bang up? Okay, well, now you know. This is a great American term. A bang up job. I pinch myself every time I use a filler word. Okay, did anybody see how you pinch yourself today? It is a very tiny and white flower with fragile petals.
Michelle.
Wow, great descriptive language. I love it. I adored your speech.
Silpa.
Very, very simple use of the word of the day. I appreciate that. By the way, the word of the day got used a dozen times. Over half of you used it. If you didn't use it, shame on you. Use it today. Tell somebody you adore them. After all, it's Valentine's Day. Love is more than just a game for two.
Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole, sung by our wonderful GE. And gardens are meant to have flowers.
Aki.
Thank you very much. Thank you for playing. Who said that? Back to you, Miss General Evaluator.
Thank you, Tiger. And now let's go to our timer. Milva.
Okay, thanks a lot, Elise. I think you did well, Toastmasters and their guests, and I have some notes for you. For speaker one, you spoke over time, 8 minutes and 40 seconds. For topic session, I think just one person that spoke over time, 3 minutes and 11 seconds. And for evaluators, you did well. I really adore you. I think that's it. Back to you, GE.
Thank you, Milva. I believe we have finished with role players. And now it's my time. And the meeting started with Milva, who was enthusiastic and happy. She made us all to want to smile. I suggest that she would try to be more natural when speaking these words. Toastmaster of the day, Yasmin, introduced us the love theme and role players. I adore her kindness that is expressed by her words and also her body language. She introduced role players by saying the good she sees in them and helped us to know them better. I also adored her sincere sayings after the two speakers. We all need encouraging words to keep on going. Tiger as a grammarian was adorable, lovable, and always humorous. Milva as a timer was brief and to the point. I liked her signs because they were clear. Ayu as an accountant was accurate. I adore her when she talks as an authenticity about the things she knows well. Ixel as the evaluator of Kevin's speech. I adored that she was precise about the things she liked, but I believe that she could give some more recommendations for Kevin. Shilpa, as the evaluator of Preeti, I liked her way of illuminating the good things in Preeti's speech. Her recommendations were useful and could help Preeti to take her speech to the next level. And Kunang, I liked her questions because they were simple, short, and easy to understand. But I believe that she should make more questions about love and Valentine's Day rather than flowers and chocolates. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. General Evaluator. I adore your report as equally as I adore the flowers and chocolates. And as equally as I adore our club, and as equally as I adore the positive energy that you all bring in, and the spirit of being together. So I really thank you all for giving me the opportunity for being the Toastmaster of the day on this very adorable day, which makes it memorable for me. I'm going to remember it. And thank you for being so supportive throughout the meeting and making this meeting run so effectively and efficiently. And with these words and lots of flowers and chocolates, I would like to hand over the meeting back to the president. Are you?
Yeah, thank you, Yasmin. Thank you very much. Just a moment. Let me see if we have time. Yes, we do have some time. So I want to ask. I have one. So, I want to ask Preeti. Hi, Preeti. And then I will also ask Pooja. Preeti, this is your first time here in Roseburg Speakers and Storyteller. Do you have any comment, any improvement, advice, or anything that how you feel about our meeting?
Yes, I think first of all, thank you everyone for hosting me here, and it was a lovely experience speaking in front of stalwarts here. I think you really have a great set of members and you're all doing a great job. One thing I really appreciated here is the energy levels. I think the energy levels are pretty high, especially Toastmaster Yasmin and yourself, Toastmaster you, and I really like the best part for me was Toastmaster Alice general evaluation report. So I think it was very detailed and very to the point. I mean, there's not much of fluff which I see usually in general evaluator report. It's very the critical feedback is just out there in the face, and we have a lot to learn from that. So thank you, and it's a great opportunity for me to attend here.
Thank you, Preeti. Your comment, your insight is so appreciated, and thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your motivational speech with us. And now we go to Pooja. Pooja, this is your first time to being here in the club.
Yeah, I just joined a little bit late. I got to know Preeti is about to speak, but unfortunately, I joined after the call got over, and I was not able to hear to her speech. I got the Zoom link through Preeti on the Teams, and that's how I was able to join. Overall, the theme I liked it. I don't know the main theme, but it was all about chocolate, flowers, and I was feeling so kind of Valentine week, and then flower mix. You feel good always, and every individual speaker was very good in their the detail you have given, that was very good. Even I haven't read everyone's name, but I think Yasmin, she was also very good in her closing this one. And I see the evaluator of Preeti, she was also very nicely giving all the points and the yes to and what are the best things which Preeti has put. So overall, it was a very good this one. And I did not see the last person. I don't remember, but the detailed feedback he was giving, even that was good to take and learn. Thank you. Over to you, TM.
Thank you, Pooja.
Kunal.
Oh yeah, Kunang did a good job too today. Pooja, thank you very much for your good words. You know, that's beautiful thought, and I can see your enthusiasm in your voice. And thank you so much for that. Fellow Toastmaster, we are at the end of our meeting. I would like to give a few minutes for Yasmin, our Vice President of Education. Sometimes, do you need that now, or do you want? How do you want it, Yasmin?
Uh, Thank you, Ayu. I would just be happy to do it next week, next to next week. But it is maybe I will use this opportunity to invite everyone once again for the next week, all the members here, all the guests, because next week is going to be the evaluation contest, the club evaluation contest. So please come in and to cheer the contestants and bring in more positive energy. So this is the only, I think, a piece of information I would like to provide at this point of time. And in case any of the role players or any of the contestants have any question, they can please feel free to reach out to me. I'm available on my WhatsApp or email whenever you wish to before the clubs, right? And with this, I give it back to you.
Thank you, Yasmin. With Yasmin announcement and words, I announce that the meeting of Roseburg Speaker and Storyteller adjourned.